Good evening. My name is Wahid Lutfi. I'm going to share my screen first. Let's share the screen and then I'll show you what I have for you. So if I go to my MyWebUniversity free educational videos channel, these are the videos that I have already posted for Python, Unix and Linux, Windows, C, C++, everything is already on the website. The website is youtube.com/@MyWebUniversity, which is the handle for MyWebUniversity free education videos. So you're welcome to subscribe and like and make some comments on any video. If you need something that you want me to make a new video, I will do that to help you. Without further ado, let's get started with tonight's session. So I'm going to just basically show you what I have on the presentation first. Let me go through a slide view. As you already know, those of you that are following the videos, you already know that we have covered Python data structure with tuples and list. We had two videos on tuple, 3 videos on list, and 1 videos on set, and actually 2 videos on set also. And then tonight I'm going to discuss a string data structure. So Python tuple data structure, as I mentioned earlier, there was 2 videos that already I've covered. List, there are 3 videos. Please look for those videos and then just watch them. There are tutorial 1, tutorial 2, and tutorial 3 for a list. And then for a set, we have 2 videos. Tutorial 1, which was this video, and then tutorial 2. Obviously, the tutorials are basically just more in detail. This is just a slide that I'm going to show you at this time, but the actual videos are longer. So Python string data structure is the topic of tonight. Without further ado, again, let's just get started with the string data structure. So I'll explain what we're going to cover. I'm going to do some application to show you how you can use a string methods and a string in general. So a string data structure, as you can see, I'm here listing the directory structure of all the string methods, the double underscore magic method or spatial methods, we call it in Python, and plus the find method, format map, index, is alphanumeric, is alpha, is ASCII. I'm not going to read the entire thing, so just read them and they are available for you. The way you get this information, you just run inside the Python interpreter their string, and then that string class will just have these methods associated. So data dictionary will be covered next, and I will just discuss that one in future videos. Please be on the lookout for those ones. The way you just normally will find my videos is just if you go to MyWebUniversity free education videos, watch one of these videos, subscribe, and then once you subscribe once, you don't need to subscribe it more than once. It is free. You can subscribe, and then after that, every update that I make, you will get informed, so you can watch the new videos and learn it and enhance your skills and career for school, for your job, for anything that you want. MyWebUniversity free education links is on. I'm also doing on the collab.research.google.com, which is Jupyter notebook for collaboration of research of Google page for notebook of Google. That is on the secure page. So once we get in here, then we can practice Python. I've been showing a lot of the demos here, but tonight I'm going to do some of the demo here, some of them actually inside command prompts on Windows as well. And then again, for more information on that website, you can go to https://youtube.com/@MyWebUniversity to just join or watch more videos. There are more than 600 videos. You're welcome to learn from them all. It's going to help you. At this time, let's just show you this print statement string doc. This double underscore doc is a special method or magic method or dunder method, we call it. Because it's double underscore, we don't read the double underscore. We just say the doc special method or the doc magic method. So a string class itself has a kind of property or function or magic method. In this case, it's not a property, it is actually a method, dunder method or magic method or special method that just return the doc string from the string class itself. And then if you try to get help on any of them, you could type in help on a string. That would give you on all of them. But if you want a particular like zfill, which is zero padded on the left side, you can get that one information, or strip a string on a strip, and you can see that you can strip the blank characters from left and right. There's right strip, left strip. So any of these commands, you can just, for example, say, give me one for the upper. You can get the upper here. And instead of zfill, let's say, for example, you say, give me for capitalize. And notice that as soon as I type in the IDE of a Jupyter notebook of Colab.research is helping me say, did you mean capitalize like that? So it is going to just give you this information. At this time, let's just say dir of string. You could see that this is just giving you all the directory listing of the string here. You can also say print type of this string class. What is this one? So then you can see it's a class type. And so you can create any character, any characters, like for example, let's say A is the character A. This one, if you say print type of A, and then also print the A itself. Let's do this, print A itself. This one is going to say A is a class string, and then the character we represented is A. If you change this A, the variable A could have any value. So A is just a variable. And it makes sense that you just gave meaningful character name. Like for example, that one would be a character. It would be a C for character, for example, and then you type in C. But then notice that even though I type it C, it is going to say it is not actually a character. In Python, one character is a string. As you can see here, it is just says the value of it is there. So if you just put more than one character, it is still, because it's within the codes, it is identifying that it's a string. So this regard to what it is, you can define something, say, let's say C is equal, and say this. That this is a string, and then the value of it is this. But the type is a string. So it makes sense to say like it's one for string one here, or str1, something like that. So for sure, I'm writing this one as one. So you can easily do the typing. But in programming, you want to write these program meaningful names to do it. For example, let's say I say message, and then here say hello world. Hello world. And then here I change the message to say what is message. Is going to say string, and then here say message. And then you could just add on to it. Say, for example, name is here, and then say, let's say instead of word, we could just put here comma, and then space, and then here put word. So now we say hello message, and then message is there, but then we have to say this hello message plus and then just gave the name of the message, also the name. So this is concatenation operator. This is an object-oriented programming called operator overloading, because this is operator is taking two arguments. This is one argument, this is the second, the two strings are concatenating together. So when you run it, it just says hello world is still, because name is there. So if you change this one to universe, and then just put a bang there, you could just see you get here universe. You change that one to Mars, whatever you change that string, then and that string will be replaced here because you're concatenating two strings here together. And the type of them is already there. So if I just print the type of name also, it is also going to show that is a string. So then in this case, if I want to just change something, like for example, here, I want to change all of the last characters here for Mars, you want to just change that one to uppercase. So you could just call the upper function on this object. In this case, it's an object name is string, object, an instance of a string. Then you say the dot, and then the dot operator, it takes argument, and the argument in this case is all uppercase. So now we change Mars to uppercase. Similarly, if you want to just say, make a title, for example. So let's say I'm going to say another one, say URL is equal, I'm going to say www.my, let's write it on lowercase and .com, and then I could just say print URL dot capitalize. So or title, make it like a title. It doesn't make sense that this is a title, it's a URL. But you can just put it out however you want. Since DNS names record are going to still show the first letter of every, whether it's separated by a dot or a space, it is going to be capitalized in this case. So then you can click on it, and it is going to go actually to MyWebUniversity.com, my website, which you're going to just see a lot of videos and online things that I have been doing it on YouTube, as well as on the MyWebUniversity posting it. On this MyWebUniversity.com, I have a book also called The Direct Path to Linux Ubuntu. This is all online on Linux operating system, Linux Ubuntu. You could learn the entire things for free online, practice it, watch videos and listen to them. For example, let's say if you're an advanced operating system sysadmin guy, you could just, or a lady, you could just go to chapter 4 and just watch about 8 videos at least on this 88 advanced commands here. On each of these rows, I have these videos that you're welcome to watch and learn from them. And then some of them are 2 hours long, some of them are 1 hour long, some of them are how to build Apache web server or something else. And then in addition, for each of these commands, like for example, this last row is video 8 of 8, which would be something like this video. 8 of 8, you just watch it, and then it goes through each of these commands, 8 of these commands, and it explains each one of them in details. And then if you want to practice them, you are also welcome to practice them online by just going, for example, in chapter 3, if you're an intermediate person, you can go through these 33 commands here and then watch these videos and learn from them. So it's all already made for you. All you have to do is sit back and relax, and at the luxury of internet access and Windows a machine or Linux machine, all you need is a browser and internet access. Once you're there, you could watch them and learn them, everything. At the same time, if you want to practice it for a school, you can just click on any of these ones and read more details of the actual command. So some of the commands, or if it's security related things, I'm explaining all the permissions and the commands that you can use here. The entire book is basically available for you for free. You can just enjoy it. That on top of it, if you want to just say, let's say you're interested on practicing them yourself, like DF and disk format usage examples. Here, notice that I have 3 sections here. What is DF? I explain it with the example and then the man pages. The manual pages is also my chapter 7 of this book that actually give you the manual pages on this. So the DF command is and section is explained all in details. At the same time, if you're looking for, like, for example, let's say man, and then you say, let me just go on Python, get some documentation on Python, because I'm talking about the string right now. So let's say you're looking for Python, you could do this one. Or you just, or saying that get me the pep command. So you get man pages on pep and everything here. So it is very, very kind of like application wise, you can access it and use it. And I'm just showing you that this is something available for you online. So when you go to MyWebUniversity, you can get the technical documentation. Later on, I'll show you a lot of other details. So here, when you do the title, you could do this. So I showed you a couple of ways. Sometimes you want to put a string inside another string and then just say something with it. So if you're including something that has a kind of another string, say this, if you were typing hello this, then let's say I'm just going to say print message. So, and this time hello this, notice that this is going to give errors saying that you already start with this double quote and you do another double quote. I don't understand. In order to include this double quote, you need to skip it. This is the syntax of Python that is gonna just put that hello this for you. Or if you don't want to do a double quote, you do single quote inside, single quote, and then don't do the slash, skip it. And then also, if you do double quote inside here, then the outside has to be single quote. Either one of them. Once you start with one, then you can just do another one, like here. Now this one will just say the double quote in there. So 2 ways. One is the backslash. Another one is that if you started with single quote, the inside and double quote can be used, but the closing single quote has to be single quote. Similarly, if you start with double quote, the inside could be single quote and the outside has to be double quote again. And then there's a f string also. You could do the f string. F string is very useful. You can just start saying, for example, here you could just say the word hello right here. You don't have to do this one. Let's say here I'm going to put the word hello here and then comma, and then I don't have to even do a comma here. I could just say here f string, and then I could just say hello, writing the hello there. I'm going to say the message is already there, so I'm going to just say message and then comma and then say another word like name. So then name could be here, say Wahid, or just the word, like we said, a word, hello, a name. Then now it's going to, this one is going to be presented. Because I started with a single quote f, I have to close the function f string with that. So now it sends the same information. This is also, you could just say, for example, this 2 plus 3 is 5. So you could do even the calculation or something that sort. Or you could just say num is equal and then do some computation like 5 times 5. And then right here, you could just print out num is equal, and then put this braces and say num. So this num, you could just say, for example, the code or the value, since we are adding here and there with the brace, you could just simply do this and then say get 25. But notice there's no space here, so I have to separate it, that one by space. Let me just get rid of this one, so I could just have a smaller information for you to understand it. Actually, I want that number there. So instead of a name, I could do that one also. 2 plus 3, and then put a space here. So let's see if there's space. Once you do it, automatically gives a space. Here you could put the word, say num is equal, and then say that is the value of 25 here. Num. So if you just don't want this one a space, you could just include it like that. So the f string is really cool. You could just do a lot of things. So let me show you another print. The f string, you can also write it in uppercase, I believe. So it doesn't matter what you do, and then whether you do single quote or not. So if I say the word message, it's gonna just print the message here, and then hello. But if I want to just say, okay, let's just create a list here and say, let's call it even. Even is equal, and then we say we are going to create a list comprehension. We're going to say x for x in range of, let's do 10 numbers. We could do it within the range of computation to get even numbers. So we could say 0, 10, 2. This means start with 0, and then I'll go up to 10, which is the last number is 8, and then the increment by 2. So now in the even number, if I print this one with even and say, and instead of this, I say even, and then I just do the list called even. So this one should get the list of even numbers like that. Similarly, if I just want to do the same function here and then do the odd numbers, all I have to do is start with 1 and then increment by 2. So that would be just odd numbers. And then similarly, if I just want to print that one, I could do a print here, and instead of even, I just say odd. And then instead of the variable, I just say odd, like to use that variable. So the even number is going to display the even numbers, and then the odd numbers is equal odd. The nice thing about this program is very good, because you could do, let's say, for numbers between 0 to 50, and then here you can do up to 50. So the maximum number you can go to billion number. It doesn't matter. I just want to do a smaller number, so that way you could just get everything fit on the screen. If I make a short video, you can see them all easily in one session. So you could do this one. And if you just decide to say, for example, do some calculation on this one to the power of itself. If we do the same number to the power of itself, so exponential of that number, notice that this number will just do increase when you're doing exponential. But if you to the power of 2 on it, then you can see this formula is very good. This is almost like a lambda function internally inside the recursive function, because there's no name for this function, but you're doing computation. So if you decide to do it to the power of 5, and then you can just do that one, and the numbers are growing bigger, or to the power of 3, for example, let's say to the power of 3, and then 3 to the power of 3 is 27, and that's what you get 27 here. So, or 2 to the power of 3 is 8, you get that. So any number that is to the power of, and if you do it to the power of 2, you see that for 10, you should get 1024, and somewhere there should be for 10, 1024. Actually, this is up to 20 x to the power of 2. So the 2 and 2 is, this is to the power of that number. So 2 to the power of that one would be 1024. This one would be to the power of x, and then x. Yeah, right here is because 2 to the power of 10 is 1024. To the power of 2 is 4, and to the power of 4 is 16, and so on. To the power of 32 is, 5 is 32, and then 6 is 64. So you could just see the values, how they incremented. But all of this computation is very easy. You can also do an if statement within this expression. So if you do this one and you say, and instead of this, you could just say, go to 20, and then you say if x mod 2 is equal 0. So this one would be the same thing as incrementing it by those. Now, since we are doing it by f is this, if x mod 2 is not equal 0, because we want odd numbers on the second one. So that would be just still giving you the even numbers here between 0 and 18, and here between 1 and 19, the odd numbers. And notice that how easy it is to just use these if a string function. So if I use this one in a single if, this would still work. That's not a problem. As you can see, I run it here. And if I just use this one a single quote, because I started with single quote, if I leave it like this and watch, it's going to error out on line 5. And then line 5 is saying that end of line while scanning string, because I started with a single quote, I need to close it with a single quote. And as long as I use the same single quote and single quote closing it, is not gonna complain. Or double quote and double quote closing it, it's not gonna be complaining. And you already see the concatenation of 2 strings. So if I just wanna concatenate 2 strings, for example, say here print 2 plus 2, that is going to print 4. And then if I just wanna do, let me just close these other ones to just show you operators here. And so 2 plus 2 is equal 4. But if I wanna do 2 and 2 plus 2, that is going to print 22. Why? The reason it says 22 is because it's string concatenation. This operator class is actually used as operator overloaded, because this is 2 strings. So the type of this string is a string rather than integer. And if I just try to do this one, watch what happens. It's going to say that one is integer, the first one is integer, the second one is a string. You cannot add an integer with a string. And if I want to just change it, then I have to cast this one to an integer. And then now I cast it into an integer, I can just get the value of 4. But if I just don't want to cast it, I have to actually give 2 integer. So this is print 2 plus 2 is just, I need only one bracket parentheses, because now I'm no longer casting it, and it is correct. And then if you want to do it plus any number, it doesn't matter, the numbers are there. Or 3.5, then you can see that you're getting a 5.5 there for that and this. And if you want to say that print this, also show me the type of it. Notice the type of this one is going to say a floating point number, class floating point. But if I just say type of this plus this, then it's going to show a string type, because those two are concatenated in a string. And if I want to print it, printed, say, the same numbers here. Let's just copy these lines here. Actually, I'm going to write it faster. String 2 plus string 3.5. So now this one is the second one is a string. So I'm going to get that one. You see that 23.5. So 3 and 2 is concatenated together. You don't want to do that one. That's a string. If you want to actually to manipulate it, you have to do this or convert it to integer or floating point, and then do the computation 5. And similarly here, you don't need to put them into this. If you just say here int, convert that one to int, and then this one converted float, then you could do that conversion, because a string to integer and a string to float will still give you the right value. But some of the values you cannot say hello world and then convert it to a number. That's not a number. So it is not going to work on the conversion. Here, let's say I do a directory here, and then when I do a directory on Python by itself, it shows that all the modules that are already loaded, as well as the objects that are available. So you can see the list is really big, but I want to get only for the string. If I do for only a string, you can see this is what is available here. But because it's a lot of information, as you saw in my notes on last time, I wrote this one for, let's say for dictionary or for tuples or anything. You could just do the same thing here for a string. So instead of like this one, it does a directory of dictionary. I told you that you can do for set. You can just write one program and then give you a column wise, depending on the class that you pass on. And even if you do a math module or something. Here I'm doing a string, so I'm just putting a string, and then I get all the classes or methods that are available for the string object. So this is how you get the list of them in column wise. But if you just are not interested to get it in one column wise, it's already here. You can just say dir of a string, and it is there for you. And then you have to search for it there. So another way you can just search using the string itself, I showed you last time. If I'm looking for this one, I can do a for statement. So let's say, for example, I'm looking for anything that starts with double, like this, double underscore. I could say for I, which is item, and dir of a string, then I say f double underscore and item, then we are going to print item. So this will just give you the list of all the double underscore here. You can see it. And if I change this one to say search for upper, only show the upper there. You can see that is upper, upper. Similarly, I say if upper in item or lower in, let me just do lower in the string, lower in item, then you just print them. So now I get the list of is lower, is upper, lower method, and upper method. You could just do this, and then remember that the list, if you want to get everything but not the double underscore, if not, you could just say if double underscore and not an item, then you can just get everything but the double underscore, those methods. And then if you're interested, like for example, method starts with, because it starts, just the word starts, you can see that if you're going to not say not in this case, because you want to match the start string. So now you say it starts with. or something like ends with. And so if you just look for the end, anything that it say ends with, you can do that one. A lot of the methods that you're looking for, let's just do a directory here, dir of a string. You can see just to say print. So I'm showing you the not operator, end operator, a lot of the things that you have been learning at tuple, list, and data dictionary, later on in objects and other classes and if statement. I'm doing the same thing with the string here. So now you can see there's a lot of them over here. And you could say if, let's say a shorter form of that one, and instead of doing this, a shorter form was just to say, let's not include the double underscore. We say if double underscore not an item, then just print them. So we get a little bit shorter, even though that one is not short, it's a lot. So notice there's a lot of them start with as. So we could just say and not in this one, and an item, and then we could say and as, just they start with as or index, as alpha, as space. So we could just say as an item. So you could do an and statement here, and you get only those ones that are not double underscore and this. Because this one is so unique to that one, we don't need this double underscore here anymore. So you could just say if as is not as an item, you could make it shorter. Writing concise code is always better, it's easier to do it. And if you just say, give me only the one that would start with one character, I, that you could do that one with I and there. And there's a search for regular expression that you could do like in Python. I'm not sure if you could do this inside. No, you can. But regular expression, we have to import the regular expression, do the search on it. Or you could just say if item start with the letter character I, and then that one we could search it as well like that. So let me get started with the rest of the videos that I prepare for you. So this video does not get too long, and then I will cover a lot of these examples more and more as time allows. But at this time, all you need to do is watch the one that I'm posting, and then make some comments so I could see where you are and where you want to get, so I can help you out. Let's see, for this one. God bless you all. I just want to help you as much as I can do as humanly possible. So please stay with me and make sure that you are following me along with all these presentation and videos and that I'm making for you. So I'm not spending my time for nothing. And then here, I'm just doing a string data structure tutorial. And let's see, the one that we did here on the example, I'm going to put this Python program that I did and just to demo, and that we can use a Jupyter Notebook to do this one. Notice here, I'm just on line 1, I'm declaring a protocol as a string HTTPS, which is a hypertext transfer protocol, a secure page for port 443. Every time you visit a website that is secure, they have HTTPS in front of it, and you see this lock here, and then you see this HTTPS. For example, colab.research.google.com is HTTPS secure page. And then this other one, HTTP, which is port 80, this is a non-secure page. It is it's still accessible. The only thing is it does not have a certificate, or it is not doing cipher or encoding your information. Sometimes if you're like going to mywebuniversity.com, automatically I'm taking you back to my YouTube channel, and YouTube is going to secure page. So when you come into MyWebUniversity.com, you're basically watching a video at the YouTube channel. And if you're learning online for technical documentation, manual pages, Python stuff, it does not need to be, encrypted, because there's nobody going to steal a documentation, a hacker guy, to say, hey, that documentation is going to give me a lot of money. There's no such thing. It's just, they're not going to even touch it. So you're safe to just use it in mywebuniversity.com and so on. So, but I recommend that you always look at the site that you're doing any transaction to make sure you're on a secure page. For example, banks, and then some stock markets, anything that you're logging in with authentication and password, make sure that you're just going through secure port, which is port 443 HTTPS. If you see this one and the lock is there, and you click on it and says, yes, this is a certificate is good for the site, then you're good. You can see that about Collab, and then also on the secure page, connection is secure. You can click on this one and learn more, and then you will see it. But we don't need to do that one. I'm just showing you as a safety, so how you can check for these things, okay? Let's just go back here and then go through the Python program. At this time, if you go here and say, okay, this program has these two variable. One is pointing to the secure page, another one is to non-secure. And then continue, I'm going to prompt the user, do you want to continue with this program or not? If he or she says yes, then a word continue is going to be stored from this input input function, which is taking a string as an argument, and then the value of that string is going to just be either Y or no, or any character, but aside from Y, anything will be no. So here I'm only matching the lowercase y. If you type in uppercase Y, it's not going to work. So I could check for those ones, say, well, count is uppercase Y, or count is, I don't need to. At this time, I'm just demoing. So at this time, URL, we're going to ask for input from the user. Why do we ask the user? So we can open it for the user to see, give you a URL link on it. And then if the URL is mywebuniversity.com, I'm just converting the string that they write it in uppercase. So I compare uppercase to uppercase, and then that way I say, yeah, that was the site. I'm going to open it in non-secure port. But anything else, I'm going to open it on HTTPS. I'm assuming that every other site, google.com, youtube.com, banks, and nasa.gov, jpl.nasa.gov, fifa.com, they're in secure page. So let's just practice a few of them. And then when we do this program, if I run it here, notice it's going to say continue. If I say no, I don't want to continue, and then press enter, the program ends right here, because I did not want to continue. But if I just run it again, this time I say yes, continue, it's going to say this one, enter the website name. At this time, let's just open up I don't have to put the because most of them goes to the nasa.gov. Let's say I put all in uppercase and say open nasa.gov. Notice it opens the nasa.gov here, and it says this is a secure page. So if I click on it, it's going to take me to nasa.gov page. As you can see, that is basically the www.nasa.gov in its secure page. So this is very nice, because you could, at your fingertip, you could go on the URL and keep typing it, but sometimes you can just be happy that you could write it, customize it for your needs. So at this time, I say, yeah, I opened that one. I'm going to close that one. Let's open another one. At this time, I'm going to say jpl.nasa.gov. So if I just open JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory.nasa.gov, where I work at, it's very nice. And so I just want to show you this Jet Propulsion Laboratory. In fact, what you're seeing here on the screen is right in front of the building where before the COVID, we used to report here. Actually, on this screen, it's going to come later, but sometimes different screen is going to display depending on what you're doing. So let me just let it go for 10 seconds. Each of these ones, 10 or 5 seconds, you can see that it gets refreshed with a new view. This is the screen that MSL Mars Science Laboratory, that is the MSL project that landed on Mars on 2012, August 5th. And the left side was the building that I was working in 171. So these are all very good sites that you can just go and go to the galleries and everything else. So start the learning and enjoying it and watching some videos there. You could just do whatever you want. It is so much there. So let me close this one also. Obviously, if you just go through these videos, you can just learn and watch and enjoy. Let's go close this one. I'm going to just go to the next site. Let's say, well, I'm going to say continue, say yes. I'm going to say python.org. So python.org is going to open this one, and this would take me to python.org. And as you can see that you can go to the Python documentation and everything. But if you decided to say, yeah, take me to the documentation straight there. So you say yes, and then say docs.python.org. That's the actual URL. You could type it in and it's going to help you get to the URL faster. So you don't have to go there similarly. And let's just close this one also. And I'm going to just say, MyWebUniversity.com, my website. So if you go there, like earlier I was showing you this MyWebUniversity.com, these pages. So if I just go back here and I click, when I said, do you want to continue or not? Instead of this one, I said my, so the program ended. Now I'm going to just say yes, and then I say my webuniversity.com. I didn't read it, that's why. So this information is going to show up, and then you just click on it and go to my Web University page. If you decided to say, okay, yeah, I like this one, can I just say, go to my, yes, continue, go to my webuniversity.com/man_pages for manual pages. This is a technical documentation, more than 66,000 technical documentation. I wrote Python program to generate all these Mac OS X commands, manual pages, Linux manual pages, Solaris, Windows, and PowerShell. And you could just go on each one of them to just look at them and then learn from them. This is all online available for you. And then on top of it, if you see that alphabetical, you can search for them. These are all alphabetical. If you want to do just Solaris, for example, there's about 13,000 technical documentation. And on top of it, if you just say, well, I like that one, but I want to just get the Linux dynamically, so I can type in the command here myself. So I made that one also available for you on Linux Ubuntu. You could go to this last chapter, search for any Linux manual pages dynamically. So here you have a choice. Whatever you type in here or on here, like here you can see a systemd is there. You can type in, for example, pwd, and you will get the pwd command here. If you just type in, for example, GCC for GNU C collection compiler, you could get that one. Or you type in G++ for, let's say, G++ for C++ compiler, GNU collection compiler, you could get that one as well. So depending on what you're looking for, you have the details here. At this time, I'm going to also provide you something. Let's close this one, go back here, and then sometimes you could go for fun. You could just say, well, I'm going to search again and say yes. Let's see, I'm going to stop it first, and then just stop it and then run, say yes. And then here I could say, go to youtube.com/@MyWebUniversity, MyWebUniversity. This is youtube.com/handle. Then you can just say, take me to youtube.com/handle MyWebUniversity. So that would take you to my YouTube channel. Similarly to this one, since this one is a little bit slower when you go to the website of YouTube, by the time it opens this one, it depends on your network. It just loads it a little bit there, and then by default, this program runs. That is my site, my 1 minute banner. So this one is there. You could also go, for example, say yes, continue. For example, youtube.com. Sometimes I go to @Mo Lutfi 10. That's my son YouTube channel. I just go there for fun and watch some of his technique and his skills in soccer. You could just put your own favorite son or cousin or relative or friend that you want to watch, or some kind of YouTube channel that you could watch, and then go there and then just look at each of the technique or something that you want to just look at. So here is juggling the ball in different mode of skills of turning it left and right. Let's see if it shows up here. Watch the FIFA World Cup. Wow, this is FIFA World Cup. So I'll skip that video because I'm gonna take you to FIFA World Cup. Yeah. So this is a long video. It is just there. You could watch them if you want to there, but I'm gonna close it because I know that some of you are not interested on that one. But if you're interested in sports, you can go even to FIFA.com here. So the FIFA website will show up here. You can just go FIFA.com and then just practice it there. Notice that since I'm on a virtual machine of Google Colab, I'm not just able to just open it on the virtual machine. So I open it on my computer. That's why this link that it comes here, it gives me a link. I provided and I wrote this one to provide a link. But if I was on a Mac machine, then I can use the open command, or on the Linux Firefox command to just open it on a browser, or on Windows start one, which I'm going to show you next. This was nice today. There was a very nice game. France beat England 2-1, and then also Morocco beat Portugal 1-0. Both of them qualified, and then Morocco is facing France now. And then Argentina win against Netherlands in penalty kicks. Argentina played really, really awesome, and they should have won during the game, but unfortunately they tied, and then they won on the penalty kicks. They scored more goals. Both teams really played very good, but I think Argentina had 3 or 4 chances in the last overtime time that they could have scored 3 or more goals, but Netherlands saved it very good as well. So both teams played very well. Argentina is playing against Croatia. Croatia beat Brazil. Brazil was winning 1-0 in the overtime, but unfortunately Brazil did not attack. They started defending. That's what you just, when you slow down and you're trying to say, we're going to keep the 1 goal, that's not going to happen in the World Cup. you're playing against professional players at any moment. Even 10 seconds, Argentina got scored, and the last 10 seconds they tied 2-2. And then Brazil got scored last maybe the 116 minutes, I believe. They tied, and then they lost in penalty kicks. And so now I believe Morocco has a good chance. France and Argentina. So my favorite teams, or I want Morocco and Argentina to go to the next round. And if France beat Morocco, France and Argentina to go out. Croatia is also a very good team, but wish them all good luck. And they last time Croatia beat Argentina in the semifinal and lost against France. So I don't want the same repeated World Cup and continue. If whatever happens, we take it. It's not our choice. So we just take it and enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy it too. So let's just stop on these videos here, but I'm going to show you another program that I wrote on Windows for this one, a little bit longer program. So here you can see on Adam, this is the entire program, and it has a doc section. So on the single quote and double quote, I showed you how you could do within a string, but you can also have the docking string, which is 3 single quote, or start with 3 single quote, ends with 3 single quote, or start with 3 double quote, ends with 3 double quote. Whatever you put in between become the doc of this module, for example, open url.py. And then if you do that one inside a function, it becomes the doc of the function. Similarly, for anything that you declare under it, and then it becomes the doc of that object. So here we're importing OS because I want to make sure that if I'm on a Windows machine, I use the start command. If I'm on a Mac machine, I start the open. And if I'm on a Linux or Unix, I use the user bin Firefox to open the URL. So those are the tools that I'm using for it to go, and I need the OS module to load it. Once I checked it, the same condition that we were checking here, notice that I'm doing the same thing, comparison, everything. But here I'm saying that if the OS's name is NT means new technology of Windows NT that was there. That name is coming from for Microsoft Windows stuff. Anything Windows related, the OS name would be NT. But anything Linux and Unix like Solaris and Mac, which is Unix like, or Linux, which is Red Hat, Fedora, and then OpenSUSE, and then Linux, Ubuntu, all of those ones are going to be OS.name is going to be POSIX. So we are going to just look at those ones and open them, depending on whether I need to open them on HTTPS or secure page. But on this one, in order for me to run it, I opened this Windows command prompt. So I'm going to show you a few of these ones, not all of them, but I'm going to do a dir here and clear my screen and do a dir start.py. So last time I showed you the text to audio conversion, but this time I'm going to show you the open url.py. So if I do a type, which is equivalent to cat command on Unix or Mac, you say open url.py. This is going to just show you exactly what we showed you here on Adam. So the command line is equivalent to opening it here is type. But in order to run it, you have to clear screen again here. And instead of type open URL, you say Python 3 open URL. The reason I'm saying Python 3, because if I say Python 3 -- version, it's going to show that I have Python 3.10 or just Python 3 version. If I go here, Python 3, it will take me to Python. So I exit out of that one and then clear my screen. And I type in Python 3 open URL, and the name of the Python program is going to just say, do you want to continue? I say, yes, continue. And it says, enter the website name. So I'm going to say nasa.gov. let's say I'm going to go jpl.nasa.gov. And then it's going to just open automatically for me because it detected there. Notice the name I typed it inaccurate. So this one is not going to show up. So I'm going to close this one and then go back to the program. Right here, go back to the program. You say, did you want to continue? I say, yeah. This time I'm going to say jpl.nasa.gov. The program is assuming that you know the URL. So this time I type in the right name. It's going to open jetpropulsion.nasa.gov. You can see the website here, and it is loading right now. So as I said earlier, the same site, it is like very nice galleries, nice images, everything, a lot of technology, documentation, everything that you can go and visit the site and learn from it. So let's just leave this one here, come back on the command prompt here, and we say, do you want to continue? Say yes. Let's open docs.python.org. So I really like you to understand Python. So if you look for Python docs, notice that this 3 is for the current version 3. So 3.12, 3.11, all of that one are already in 3.11 is in stable that you can go ahead and read it. And then all the documentation, the tutorials, how-tos, everything. There's a lot of videos that we make. Everybody that puts videos on YouTube. But at the same time, there's python.org that who is thousands of developers are contributing. Everything is there. So if you need a library reference, go there. If you need tutorials, go here. And then if you need just some of the information, help yourself and then understand it and do whatever it takes to learn the technology and do good at the school, do good at your work. So let's get back to, I'm going to close this program and say, no, I don't want to continue. So it is done on this one. But on the Windows prompt here, I could just also go say, yes, continue, and take me to FIFA again, FIFA.com. Notice that whether you type in lowercase or uppercase, as long as the name is accurate, FIFA.com will just know that this is a secure page of FIFA and it's going to take you there. So let's see what other things that I could show you here. And then this one time I'm going to say, no, I don't want to continue. If I say, and let's look up FIFA.com, notice that this one is going to resolve to an IP address. So whether I go to FIFA.com, it's going to take me to this IP address. And that IP address is their web server. So if I type in FIFA and all in uppercase, FIFA.com, the DNS lookup is going to resolve to the same IP address. So if I take this IP address and just say, go to the browser, and instead of this one, let me just take you to google.com first, so you know the website changed. And then at this time, I'm just going to put the URL here. And the URL is going to take me to the same page because the DNS name actually here it is not seeing it because it requires like maybe HTTPS. HTTPS. Yeah, it's going to take you to bing.com somehow. Let's see what is the detail. FIFA.com. This is non-authoritative, and this is IP gateway.home is there, and then 93 is non-authoritative. Server is there. So you could say in this lookup, minus query is a record, and then www.fifa.com. This would just be the IP address, and it does go to the same IP address there, 152.this. Somehow maybe and they're not resolving it by the IP address, but let's see if I get it here or not. HTTPS and this. Yeah, it is not resolving it because this one, the way they created the certificate, the certificate is not pointing to that one. But let's say if I go to www.google.com, so notice that it redirects from non-secure page to secure page of HTTPS. I type in www.google.com, which is HTTP. Even if I just take the HTTP out, HTTPS is gonna port forward back to HTTPS. Similarly for jpl.nasa.gov, if I type in http://jpl.nasa.gov, we just do the same thing. We just redirect it to secure page, which is the secure page here, HTTPS. So if I just go here and say, and let's look up www.google.com, and then get this IP address that is coming, server 254 address is this, www, and then I'm going to just get this IP address, copy. Let's see if open a new tab here, and then say, go to this URL, and notice that Google is doing it okay. Somehow the FIFA, whoever is their webmaster or web server admin, they need to just fix that one through the certificate. And this is accurate. Similarly, if I just do the same thing for another site, whether it's secure or non-secure. For example, this is MyWebUniversity.com. Let me just do, and let's look up www.mywebuniversity.com, and then I get this IP address. So this one, whether I go to actual www or mywebuniversity.com, this page, this is should take me to mywebuniversity.com. It is going to say non-secure because I'm going through HTTP, and then that is resolving to the correct IP. www.mywebuniversity is also taking me to the same thing. So the DNS name should have done the same thing there. It's good that we found out something about FIFA.com that need to be adjusted by their admins. And then last but not least, let me just show you something here that is good. So I could show you, this is a Unix machine, UNA-A. I'm gonna show you Python-B for the version. So Python --version will give me this. And if I say pep list, and then say pep list, and then say pipe more, you could see the list of Python index packaging that are installed already here on this system. So if I'm looking for a request here, I could say grep -i and then just say request, and to see if that module is there, is going to just show you that you do have a request there that is there. So if I just want to do something with that one, I could say Python 3 here, get into the this, then I say import requests, and then I say dir of requests. We will cover requests in other modules later time, but notice that when we were talking about the string, you could just do something with that string here as well. For example, let's say for python.org or MyWebUniversity, I could create something here, say, since I imported request, I could say URL is equal, and then I'm going to just say www.fifa.com, let's say. So if we look at that www.fifa.com, and then at this time I'm going to say request is equal, R for request is equal requests dot get, and then just say URL. So we get that one. Now request dot since I did request, let me just say something here. So help on request here, just quickly to see what methods are there. So we imported request here. and request.get was that thing. Maybe I type in requests without s. Requests.get. So let's see one more time. We did import requests and request.get, and then the URL, and then the URL is there. So let me just quit here and then exit out of here. Clear the screen again here. I'm going to say Python 3. First, I'm going to say import requests because I have to import it properly. So dir of requests, and then it's there. The method.get is there too. So I'm going to say r is URL is equal. First on the URL, I did not put the entire things. So I'm going to say https://www. Let's say jpl.nasa.gov. So when you do this one, or just let's say do a python.org, the www.python.org, and this one is going to be the URL. Then at this time, I'm going to say r is equal requests.get, and then the URL. So the URL is going to get it. Notice this time I did not get the status, and our response is 200, meaning successful. Or the status underscore code is going to show you that 200. r.url is going to show you the actual URL there. And then at the same time, since I'm on a Linux machine, if you want to open that one, you can open it in the request method, or print it, or just do Firefox to open it, depending what you want to do with it. But r.text, for example, to see whether the text of it, the entire things for that site is here. And then the status, if you want to look for the R here, notice that r.links. So for example, any links that are there in the data dictionary, it will be there. r.url would be the actual URL. For example, JSON. This would be like a JSON method that is there. r.content. And so the actual content that is in bytecode, you can see that is there. Dir of r again, it's going to give you a lot of details here. r.ok, whether it was okay. r. What other things we could check? For example, cookies. And you could say, for example, for item and r.cookies, and see what is that one going to do. Then say print item, so you can get all the list of cookies that there was anything. But I think it was content or header. Header is the information, headers. So you could, instead of cookies, you could say r.headers, because that is the detail that you want to get. It's like a dictionary kind of things. Print item. r.headers. Yeah, r.headers here. So we're just doing this, and instead of this, we do that, and then print item. And then this one is basically show you the item, connection, keep alive, content linked is this, server name is nginx, content type. So this is actually kind of a key pair value. This is the dictionary, and then this is this. So you could say r. Well, I'm going to teach you the dictionary now. So r. Headers items, and then you just get the items here. So you could say for key comma value and r.headers items, and then you say print, and then you print key, and then let's print the colon separator here, and then say comma value. So this would just give you every key here that you see connection and the values keep alive. And then content length is the values there, servers and Nginx. So if you want to just get one only, you could also do something like this instead of or this, and then just in the headers, you could just say the name of the key. For example, the server is the key, the value is Nginx. Similarly, if you want to get, for example, the age should give you a value of 2727. So I'm going to end this video here because I'm not going to cover a lot of the different data structure in one video. It's going to be too long. You have to know what I'm covering so you can benefit from it. But thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure that you subscribe so you could watch all these videos that I'm creating for you. Have a great one. Take care. God bless you all. Bye.